Hello everyone and welcome to our second webinar, our second Globe Educate webinar. And I'm delighted that we are joined today by José Frutos Joral, who works at the Bilingual European School in Milan. José, thank you so much for giving up some of your Saturday. And I know you've sent your family outside while you make this recording. So I appreciate that hugely. I understand you're in your fourth year at the school and you teach PE and Spanish. And what we're really interested in, Jose, is how you have been thinking and working with AI in your lessons and your professional practice. So thank you for joining us and take it away.
Thank you very much, Mr. Human. Thank you to give me the opportunity to show like a little overview of my life as a teacher in Italian and in other countries. So I wanted to share just an overview very fast, like the past, the present, and the future, what I think will be AI inside of education, what I think could be. It's impossible to know, Oscar. So I will start firstly to talk like past, present, future, just to show the background behind me, how become an AI responsible inside of Bilingual European School. It wasn't my design, it wasn't my idea in the past. It was something very welcoming, very easy, just thinking how I try to do the things in the past. So my goals or my objectives with this webinar will be fairly try to inspire some fellows educators inside of some schools that maybe they have some doubts about the new technologies inside of education. I think it's very important, or I wanted to show how the new education can help inside, or the new technology can help in education, and how can use these tools in a positive way. So I wanted to show you as well technologies that I try to create or to use inside of the classroom, how was useful and how was the best thing to create these technologies to try to find good feedback from my students. And the other goals is the growth, to show how as a teacher and talking, I grow as a teacher, just trying to find the best way to be a teacher inside of the classroom to my students, because the times are changing very fast. So about the past, I must to say that from young age, I was fascinated by my brother's AT skills, how solve some problems very easy, the problems that maybe for another people was complex computing problems. So for him was very easy to fix. So that was, in my opinion, the inspired to explore a digital world. So we are two. I was like the sport children, and my brother was the computer children. So he was very good in these kind of things, and I learned a lot from him.
He's older than you, Jose?
It's older. It's older.
Yeah.
4 years. 4
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
So
And he was teaching himself, or he was being taught at school?
no, not for the school. It's for his son, because he has
Okay.
he's very curious, trying to do different things, to read some news, trying with the computer what is coming, if it's useful for a business. And when I'm talking, and then I think in slide 10, something like that, I explain what is the background of my brother. So about my past, sorry. I began my teaching career at the age of 34 in Madrid, in Spain. Was something like open a door, Like I remember my LEDs with both enthusiasm but insecurity because I don't know if I doing really good or not because it's my first year, my first 2, 3 years was very confused. But my passion for education has always been the driving force. So and despite the initial challenge. So from the first time, I think the most important things for me was to find challenge inside of the classroom thinking in some students because sometimes I find some students with some issues that I can maybe try to the key or to solve some problems to learn because in Spain I was the teacher as well as math and science in Spanish. So this kind of subject is very easy to see if a student has some issues to learn. So the most important as my profile is to find the challenge and to try to be curious, to find the method or the best method for them. So my journal is I started in Spain, as I say. I decided to leave Spain. I moved to Ireland to try to learn English and to find another challenge again. So where I put my English to the test and enriched myself culturally. So upon my return to Madrid, I finished my second degree at the university, and I started to work in a private school and tried to do some project with the first computer coming to the school because I'm old. So the first time there wasn't computers. When I come back to Madrid, I could work with some computers and tablets, iPads with a student. It was something very important in my opinion because I could experiment with another tools, very important right now, but at the moment was something like very like futurist, something strange. So, but after 2, 3 years, I feel again that I need another challenge. That's my problem in my head. So I feel like I wanted to improve again. I wanted to get another challenge because I think it's everything easy. So again, I leave Spain to UK to Leeds, and I was working, and as well I was working at the University of Leeds, and at the same time I was taking my master degree, uh, and that was a very important point in my life because with this master is divided in two things. The first one was all the theory about education. The master was about Spanish subject for any people, but was another part of the master is about new technologies, how to create new research inside of the classroom, taking the research we have right now. So this part opened me my mind was like a blow up my mind because I could learn to create my research depends on the characteristics of the classroom of the students. So I could inside of the university I could find the first issues teaching the Spanish language was like students for UK didn't student the grammar like in Spanish language or Italian language because the Spanish and Italian language is more complex. So to talk about adverb, to talk about verb, to talk about adjective was very difficult for them to understand what's the difference between these words. So using the knowledge that I take from the master degree, I think maybe I can do as a project. Maybe I can do on a platform or application that they can create a sentence and to take a feedback automatically at home. and don't wait to the Monday to talk with me write this sentence or not, because sometimes they have to write like 10, 12 sentence just to practice the verb or some kind of sentence. But until they come back to on Monday, it's difficult to know if they did everything right. Maybe they did a mistake in the first sentence and repeat the same mistake in the other sentence. So I was try to get something very functional, very useful for them to use at home when there is not another teacher. So I did this application that they write a sentence and give a feedback if it's right or not right. Seems easy, but was like 60,000 words inside of this application, and it worked with the classification of the kind of words inside of the sentence, what kind of words can be connected between, what words can't be connected between.
When was this, Jose? What year was this roughly?
In 2016.
Okay.
2016.
Yeah.
So I used this tool inside of the classroom. It was very useful. And that was like very motivating for me to try to find another research, because sometimes research is coming from the books or online. It's not useful for this kind of students that I have in front of me. So to get the possibility to find or to create something new was very motivating for me.
How long did it take you to create it?
Sorry?
How long did it take you to create it?
Oh, 1 year.
Oh, yes.
1 year, because was coding inside. I had to get the helping from my friends who has 18 in some companies to get the coding, to check the coding, check again, back testing for 4 months. You know, always find a mistake, always find something that is not working. What is? Try to find what is not working, change the coding again. Some words that I classify, I learn a lot of Spanish. Because when I classify the words, I find some cases in the language that you can use the same words in different way. So in different way means the same word classified in different ways as well. And that's open a huge lines of coding again to try to do it. So it was very, 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 very difficult, but was very useful. Very useful.
But after all that effort, and that was a huge amount of effort, a year, you were convinced that what you had made was actually improving students' outcomes noticeably.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I was very convincing because I take the feedback for them. I mean, to show my students to come back to the class and give me the feedback, like I was trying to do the sentence, but I found a way to do the sentence to myself. So I didn't need to wait to the next lesson to know if I did everything again. And I understand how to use these words because I try to put this word in different sentences. And now I understand where is that verb, where is a subject, or what is a noun, because it depends on where is the position in the word. What's the classification of the word? So what is the position of the sentence to know what is the classification of the word? But it was a very long job. But very, 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 very motivated. Very motivated to do it again, because I think it was a point very important in my life. That project was good. Maybe the next time is not good. So that is a project. Sometimes it's very useful, sometimes it's useless. It depends. So the most important is to try it. So the next project that I did when I leave UK and come back to Italy, to get another challenge, because that is my objective, my goals any year, to take another challenge, to go out of my confident place. So the next project that I did was like a platform through Moodle. Moodle is very famous in some universities for Italy and Spain. Within Moodle, I create from any student and username and a password. They go in through profile done. So, and they can find different courses in Spanish, depends on the level to students. So the student take the course they have to do, and inside of the course they can find like 200 activities that I create before. Some activities are like correct word into the sentence, or word searches, or dictation with audio, something like that. And any activity give some points. And when they finish an activity, they can see a ranking of the classroom, a ranking with all the school. And that was very motivating for them as well, because they can find how some activities give you some more points because are very difficult to do to them, and another activities just 1-2 points because very easy. But the most important thing is that they was taking this app like a game. Just taking, I have time enough, prof, teacher, so I can use the Moodle. Can I play? Yeah, of course. That's it. To use the word play in the sentence that they had to do, and it's activities from the third language that they are learning, is something very beautiful, because they're using the word game that they used it before. It's just because they think it's like a game using this playing.
Mm.
So it was very, very, very beautiful to hear like this feedback for some students. That was very, very, very useful. And when I go through my dashboard inside of the Moodle, I can see, for example, the ranking, was how many times the student go into the platform or the application, what activity could works or not, because some activities I can see that all the student did wrong. So maybe it's not the problem from the student, but it's the problem from the activity that I create. It's confused. So maybe I can change the activity, and when I change the activity, I can see that the student can take more points from this activity. So the problem was me, or was the activity that I create in other student. That is very important as well as a teacher, to know where is coming the issues for the student, for me, from them, from the activity, from the method. So it was very interesting this application. But when I finished, and I was using this application for 3 years with all the students, but was like I need something more, because the world outside of the school is changing very fast. But this platform or this application seems could be obsolete very fast, because
Were children getting bored with it by this stage, or what was happening in the classroom? It was not as
it
effective.
was effective, but I can see that for the first years is like they love it.
Mm.
The second year is like I love it, but it's not a new stimulus. It's not something new. So, and the Moodle, it has some limits. I can create different activities, but maybe 10, 15 different activities. So after 1 year, 2 years, seems something like, okay, man, I go to do these activities inside of the Moodle, but it's not something that I like it.
I
in our
recognize what you're saying, because I was teaching at a similar time, and I was getting children to use RM Easy Maths, which
Mm,
again, I don't know if you're familiar with it. Again, at the beginning, children were very engaged with it,
mm,
but quite quickly they became very bored with it. It was too slow. It was too repetitive. They knew what was going to happen next. And we had a mismatch because the school had invested in quite a long contract with RM Easy Maths, but the
mm.
children's interest in it dropped off much earlier. So we ended up having to try and find ways to encourage children to engage with it when they weren't interested in it anymore. And that became a real sort of tension point, because teachers would be saying to children, you haven't done any RM Easy Maths. Parents would be saying, well, why I can't get my child to do RM Easy Maths.
Mm.
And it became really quite a mess, because of what you just observed. The children's interest in it dropped off.
Yes, I right, because I think they used to use some tools that are very fast. Change the video, change the video, change the information. I want something new. I want something new. And to bring this to the school is very difficult, because to
Mm.
change the method or to change the research inside of the classroom is expensive. Is We need to spend a lot of time to create something very simple that for them is something to do just for 5 minutes. But I was working maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes to create something like it's just 5 minutes inside of the classroom. So it's very difficult to compare the life outside of the school with the life inside of the school, and to bring this for the classroom is very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. I tried, I tried, but I have always the same problem. I had to change very fast the things. I had to change very fast the things. For example, in Moodle has these limits about activities. So maybe the best things will be to show the activities slowly. But maybe it was my mistake, because I show all the activities in the same time. Oh, wow, it's impressive, because I have like 200 activities, very different. To do it like, maybe will be better to show the activities step by step. Like the first one is this one, and now I can show you another one is very different to do it. In this way, maybe I can take the attention from the student for more time, for a long time. But was was useful for a while, but must be changing.
Mm.
Must be changing.
So
I
what did you
know
do next?
the next one that I did was uh, really the virtual reality. That is the program that I use, that I try to bring to the school, because I was working with virtual reality and try to take some. But I take some certificate in virtual reality and augmented reality inside of the classroom in education. I think that point is very important. I think would be the future as well, taking as well from AI. Both in together could be very important, because for example at the University of Medicine they are doing surgery from the first year. It's something that impossible to do with not virtual reality. So the expensive of the research and the risk taking from to do a surgery from the first year in the at the university in medicine is impossible. It's impossible. You have to learn. You need at least 4 years to do a surgery, or 5 years. In this way, you can try from the first time. You can get a feedback what they did wrong. As well, in some engineering degrees, they use virtual reality, so engineering, to make like a fabric, a factory. A fabric is like, if they can change something in production, they can stop the fabric because it's very expensive. So they can do it. They can do a fabric, a twin of the fabric in virtual reality. Pay for do this twin, try to do the change in the twin. If it works, they do the change in the real and then in the real one. In this way, they can spend a lot of money. It's very easy to do in this way. So I think virtual reality will be very important in the future, and augmented reality. I was using like for 2 years try to bring this project to the classroom, but that there is a problem is the resource as well, again, are very expensive.
Mm, mm,
Right now is are very expensive, but it will be great because I could show to the student how was Anna Frank's house, for
mm,
example,
mm,
or to know how was the Milky Way.
mm,
But it's the same. It's very impressive. But why? Because it's something new.
mm,
Maybe after 2 years using virtual reality, something boring for them. So it must be changing every day. So, but was something very special that I showed to the school, that is with virtual reality we can create in metaverse a master class. So a group like Globe Educate to do a master class means, like, for example, as a Spanish teacher, I know that I'm really good explaining or teaching the past tense about the Spanish language. So I can do a master class in virtual reality, and there is no limit of the students connect with this class. And I can show to different students who student the subject of Spanish language how to create a past sentence in a easy way. For example, that is powerful,
mm,
but we had to wait. The
mm,
result very
mm,
expensive. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. We had to wait. So after to leave this project at the moment, virtual reality, one day suddenly my brother, who was still closely connected to new technologies with a company he had founded that provided multimedia service for another business. So started talking to me about AI. Like, did you hear something about AI? No, no, I don't hear anything. So AI is something new. He coming to us talking about this AI. I was thinking like it's something futuristic, like something out of the movie Blade Runner, for example. And but just seeing my brother talking about those things with this way was contagious. Was like, I want to see how can I do with AI. I wanted to learn something about AI, take some certificate, try to um, take what the tools I can use inside of the classroom, or how will be the future as well with AI, because that is the seems like the future is the present right now. Are changing very fast. Any month there is a news about AI, and that's mean we are part of this improving on new technologies that are coming as a teachers, because these tools will be the tools that the student will use in the future. So it's our responsibility to know how to use the AI inside of the classroom, and to give the opportunity to the students to use these tools. I think it's the most important as a teachers. So I started to take some certificates in AI and try to find or to think how the tools will be useful inside of the classroom, because all the certificates that I taken was with a focus in education, because in the end is the most important for me. So I did some projects in AI for some schools that my brother used it to show to some schools in Madrid, and they taking this project. Was project like to bring some activities AI inside of the classroom, or some tools for the teachers. But for me, it was like I was just proving. It's no, I didn't looking for a new job. I didn't looking for a challenge. I was just trying to do something different. But my brother thought that could be very important for another schools in Madrid with the research, and they show it, and they are use it right now. So when I that was my past. So right now, that is not me. Sorry. So right now, I in this point, I take all the certificate. Someone from the school put all the um, can I say, for example, all the responsibility of AI to me because I saw some project in the school and they think I can do something for the school new. So right now I'm the AI responsible inside of the school. The same that I say before, that wasn't my design, that wasn't my plan in the past, was something that I was coming that was coming from the past, that's taking some steps and trying to find some new challenge or just to be curious to use these things inside of the school. So in the end, I take the responsibility to AI. From the first time, I get the support from the school and from the president, on the head. So right now, as a responsible, we start to do from October, from September, October, to do some podcasts, for example, because we use the AI for some areas inside of the school, just not for education, just well from marketing, for example. And we use the podcast to bring or to show or to the parents what we do inside of the classroom, because sometimes we do something different inside of the classroom, but it's not the parents, they can know, don't know what is doing inside of the classroom, or what how or the way the children are learning all these concepts or these methods. So we use the podcast to mostly. Seems something easy, but to be honest, when we start to do the podcast, there wasn't anything online to do podcast automatically. Now it's very easy.
Mm.
At the beginning, we used just ChatGPT and to try to do a different prompt to put some. We try as well to put two devices and to talk with them like ChatGPT, one ask, one respond, one ask, one respond, and to record everything. We try as well this kind of tools, but was something just to try. It's very difficult to get something con quality in this way, but we try different things, and with this knowledge we take to trying to do these things, we learn a lot of AI. So we learn the mistakes AI do. We learn as well what is the limit as well, because there is a limit as well. So we passed to try to create some tools for the teachers, just not for the marketing. Know how we can do with the AI. One of them is evaluation, is the most important, the assessment, to try to show to ChatGPT the different tests done for the students, and the ChatGPT recognize what is the mistake or what did right, and to connect this one for a rubric or different criteria assessment from the teacher, and to try to fix all of them to the test for the student, and doing back testing, continuous back testing, trying to find what is the problem, why the ChatGPT don't read this in the correct way, the right way. So it was very funny, but we learn a lot. The next time what I did, we are right now working in tools as a feedback, individual feedback for the students. That is the most important thing for the school because think, for example, in a teacher as me, I'm a specialist, a Spanish teacher who had like 7 classroom, 25 students in any classroom, and I had to do a individual feedback for any student. Any summative assessment will be a lot of time working just doing the individual feedback. I think the individual feedback is very important, but we find the way to do it automatically, automate as well everything with make, taking as well ChatGPT, and to go all the information through ChatGPT with the rubric and the style of the teacher, because we take as well the style of the teacher rating the feedback. And we can do as well, right now, we can do like 25 individual assessment in 7 minutes, more or
Wow.
less.
Wow.
Yes, but very
How do
fast.
you how do you ensure that you keep data safe doing that, Jose? What steps do you take?
Okay, about that things, I found some issues to say. So for the first time, we used like Google Sheets to put all the grade of the students with the names, but to put this through ChatGPT, put to another file in Drive to put everything was very confused, and we take some risk about privacy, for example. Finally, and to collect information, because it's very important to collect information with a file from Google Sheets, is not to collect information. In the end, is a mess. It's a file full of files with no name or files with no code. So in the end, I found a solution taking a database. With the database is protect all the information. It's a database that take all the information from the student through ChatGPT in a way. I mean, come back to ChatGPT, but I can change the name from the student with a number, for example, and write everything perfect, but the name of the file is a number. The number is the number of the student inside of the database. In this way, I can collect all the information from the student, from the future as well. I can collect all the information from all the teachers, so I don't need to send like a file to fill from any teacher. They have the opportunity to go in the database and to put all the information that they want. I need just to get the information taken through Make. Make is the application to automate all the AI. So with the database was the solution, but to understand we need a database was like a work from October until maybe February, more or less. So like 5 months working and trying different tools to collect information, but to respect the privacy of the information in
But
ChatGPT.
now you've set it up that it's ready to use
Yeah.
for as long as you want. Yeah, the setting up part was the time hungry part.
Yes, I using right now. I'm doing all the feedback for my student with these tools. We need just to pay the account of ChatGPT, the database, and make that in the end for all the teachers must be like £100 per month for everyone. I mean, not for any teacher. I can do everything in the same place. So I had to pay just £100 or €100 just for take these tools for all the school. So it's fantastic because it's not very
So
expensive.
what difference do you notice it's made, Jose? You've done all that hard work, and you're now putting the information in. What I know it's early still, but what are you beginning to notice?
From the beginning that I know, I mean about the tools or the teachers or the time of the teachers.
The time of
What
the
do you?
teachers, the time of the
Ah,
teachers for sure, and the quality of the feedback.
the quality of the feedback, it depends. I mean, in my opinion, the most important things is the teacher. I mean, must be the last filter. The last filter is the teacher. I mean, I'm very happy to get AI. We have to control or to check all the information that is coming from AI as well with these tools. I mean, all the feedback is coming from the file for the teacher, and the teachers had to check all the feedback given from the AI. Why? For one thing, sometimes we can find some mistakes that we can fix, just some words. Another things, just because sometimes the teacher found a sentence that thinks, I don't like this sentence. I prefer to talk with them in this way, and they can change a sentence. But anyway, even if they had to check the file, or even if they had to check all the sentence, all the work done from AI, they save a lot of time, a lot of time. So to check all the classroom, for example, I talking about 25 students. 25 students can check it in maybe 20 minutes, like 1 minute for feedback, more or less. So, but to do the feedback for the 25 student could be with no AI, could be maybe 4 hours, maybe. So from 4 hours to 20 minutes just to check what AI did is incredible. But there is a big work behind. I mean, I had to create a different prompt for different teacher. I mean, because it depends. If you wanted to do a feedback from maths, subject maths, it's very different to give a feedback from English language, for example. Why? Because it depends of the rubric, of the criteria assessment. So you can do the same prompt from different criteria assessment. For example, in a language, you have 4 criteria assessment. You had to do two tests for any criteria assessment, and the way to give the feedback to the student is very different, very, very different, and the style of the teacher as well. So this is a work all together, a responsible in AI and all the teachers try to find the way that the teachers want to share this information with the student and with the parents, and to try to find the perfect prompt for this subject, to connect the criteria assessment, to do the testing, and to get a quality assessment. That is not easy because we're trying to do it like for more than 5 months, and right now still find some mistakes done for AI, but we are saving a lot of time for the teachers, and they can spend the time this time they can spend it to try to find another resource, or just to be child, to be quiet, doing other things or read. So keep working.
So,
We are keep
Jose,
working.
I've got a question. If if a colleague who's listening to this was to get in touch with you and said, I would be really interested in seeing some of the prompts you created, would you be happy to share those? I know you've just talked about how important it is to match the prompt with the individual and match the prompt to personal styles. But would you be happy to share those as a starting point for colleagues to look at?
Yes. I think inside of the school, you say?
Inside Globe Educate.
Yes, there is no problem because this prompt, in the end, I think is not a secret. I mean, any person that works with ChatGPT, Gemini, any tools knows that prompt sometimes anyone can do it, and I can share. There is no problem. Anyone can do it. It's just try. Backtesting. There is no. I'm not a genius. I'm not an engineer. I'm not an IT profile or something like that. I just try. To be curious, that changes just one sentence inside of the prompt can change all the feedback. And the most important inside of the feedback is to get everything very clear. I mean, what I want this with 3 parts. This one. What part must be connected with the rubric, with the criteria assessment? This one. Was this the other one is what can I improve? That's information for the student. What can I improve? What I did not very good, and what like an advice to the student, what can take or reach the next level or the next phase in the critical assessment. With this information, it's very easy to the student to know what is my path. Okay, I know that I'm not really good in this one because I have the feedback, but I have as well the information that what I want, what I really good doing these things. What is the next step? I had to do this because it's writing in the assessment. So taking all this information inside the prompt very clear is, I think, is very important. It's not very difficult to do it. It's just try. The other things about the style of the teacher, sometimes the style of the teacher is connected with the subject. I mean, the style of the teacher of, what I say before, of maths is very different than the style of the teacher from English language, because they wanted to show to the student very different things, and to expound or to write or to talk about these things is very different. So we are still working. It's done, but could be much better. Sure, pretty sure. Could be faster. Sure, but keep working. The most important, in my opinion.
I have a question for you. Looking back at this, the last few months of your AI journey, is there something that you look at and think, I wish I hadn't done that, or if I know what I know now, I would have done something differently? Because it's the mistakes we learn from, isn't it?
I did mistakes almost every day. Almost every day. So I mean, I could create this tool, and all the base is full of mistakes. So I didn't study something like what I say AT or engineering. So I learned everything just trying. So trying and ask to ChatGPT. Screenshot. I have a problem, a mistake. There is an issue. I take a picture, I take a screenshot, show to ChatGPT what's the problem, try to find the problem with them, doing some videos in YouTube, how to resolve this problem in a database, or how can I find this. So it's all full of mistakes. And I think the tool that I create is not finished because I'm pretty sure that in the future I say, oh my God, that is another mistake. This is another mistake. It would be easy if I did in this way. Because if I think, for example, in October I think it's perfectly tool. That I did is perfectly tool because in October I showed to the school a tool done, but full of mistakes. But just now I understand was full of mistake. Not before. Why? Because I did the path. I did all the mistakes that I had to done, had to be done in this way.
And what I'm hearing from you is that you are comfortable with those mistakes and making those mistakes because of the person you are. You want to push yourself into areas where you don't feel particularly comfortable, and you want to try new stuff. And with trying new stuff comes mistakes and comes difficulties, but that doesn't stop you, and you're learning from that all the time. Jose, before we come to an end, is there anything else that you would like to add to this wonderful conversation that we've had?
So I think, for example, what I say for the mistakes to feel confident, I had to something to say. It's like I feel confident with all the mistakes that I did because I have two chance. I mean, to find a solution with a mistake that I did or leave it. If I leave it, it's done. I don't take another challenge. I don't take another risk. So I think it's very important to understand that if I did a mistake and I'm inside of the mistake and I don't find the solution, I have just one solution or one key is to try to find how to change the mistake. That is what I try to do from the beginning, but it's okay. It's just to say. Okay. Another things about the tools we will create is with the database done, that is a very powerful things is the database. With the database, we can give to the parents a report of the student from the last 4 or 5 years. And with the database, we can give the report and to create a profile of the student for the future. What can learn, what can study in the future in the university or high school. And that is very good. That is something that I working right now because I wanted to do something very visual, graphics, the different subject, what is the strong things from the student, and that is something that I'm working because the database is done, the automation is done. I need just to change the prompt of the ChatGPT and create another scene inside of Make. So the work is done. It's just changing some things to create the report for the students. In this way, we can give a report for the parents maybe 2 times for any year, and that is perfect because they in this way they can know everything about his children. So I think it's very important. So another things in the future that I'm thinking is to create some tools inside of the classroom. So right now we can do it because the school where I work in is just until middle school. Just all the students are 13 years old, the older. So we can use AI inside of the classroom. But I was thinking to create like a platform or application where the student can talk with some historical figures or characters connected with some subject, like could be history, science, math, music, art, something like that. In this way, thinking, for example, imagine that as a weekend homework that the student had to read, study 20 page from a book, or to give a prompt done where they can talk with figures, historical figures. For example, as I show here, Winston Churchill talking about World War II, what is happened, what is the relationship the Winston Churchill with the Queen, something like that, or Picasso to talk about of art in his time. When they come back to the school on Monday, talk about the profile of this figure, what they learn, what kind of question they did, something like that. I think is very important, and is a different way to learn, because the students that are annoyed to read the things from the book can talk and can take the information in a different way, and they can learn as well to do the perfect question, like giving a limit of questions to the ChatGPT. In this way, they had take all the information they need just with 4 questions. That's another way to teach to the student how to use the AI, because if you want a smart response or answer, you have to create a smart question. This way, it's like AI works in the way. So will be perfect to teach this to the student and to use this for the homeworks on the weekend. So I say fast. And another things that I want to do in the future, that the next year will be open in the school that I work, the high school. So it will be perfect to introduce AI like a subject or part of the subject. That will be perfect. And to teach to the student to be critical with information that is coming with AI, as well with the TV or social media, because AI is inside of all of this, and to try to involve the student to use the AI to create new things. In this way, they can as well to know when they see something if it's real or not, because they know how it's done, not just watching. That's enough. They know how to do it. So I know this is fake because I know to do it as well. And to involve to the student to create something for the school. For example, a promo video from the school con AI, creating some images or videos or research for the classroom. I think to involve them, they will be prepared or ready for the future. That's for them will be the present, not the future. And the last one to say is, in conclusion, I encourage you all to try to use the AI for everything that you can think or you think that could be useful inside of the classroom education. Don't be scared to use it. Try to make a lot of mistakes, because it's the most important things. Try to take the AI inside of the challenge, the AI inside of the school like a challenge. And if you are new at the AI, I screw that. Exploring one AI tool for your classroom, experiment with AI driven learning or assessment activities, and sharing your experience that I wanted to do as well. And the opportunity give Mr. Human to me, like to share my experience or what I learned. And if you need something or you wanted to get a conversation with me about AI or some tools, I'm here, ready.
Jose, thank you so much for giving us your time. I've loved listening to your story, your journey into AI. I loved hearing about how you have been using it and your plans for the future. I'd love to come and see some of those in action at some stage, and I'm sure other colleagues will get in touch to ask you, pick your brains and ask you about your experience further. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, and you're absolutely right. I think the way forward for all of us with AI is to share our experiences and talk to each other about it like we have done today. So thank you.